Yeah, just a minute. I'll start recording. Thank you for reminding. Thank you. Thank you. I'll just stop sharing my screen and yes, it is recording. All right, so here is some cool stats. If you have not come across this anytime before, then this is a new information for you that Apple, Google, and Netflix do not require employees to have 4-year degrees, and this could soon become an industry norm. And this information is not from this particular like 2-3 months back. ये already आज से 1 से 2 साल पहले ही डिस्कवर हो चुका था. Job site Glassdoor found that more and more enterprises are foregoing the requirement of a traditional 4-year degree for job candidates. So there is one more information which I want to share, and then I'll just discuss in the context, in what context I am sharing this information. Here is some more industry stats that 15 more companies that no longer require a degree. So these are 15 more companies. Already Glassdoor had done a survey where they had already discovered about many other companies which no longer require a degree. And the companies here are not just some local companies. These are world-class companies. Like you read in the initial to initial slide that Apple, Netflix, and Google. Here we have EY, Penguin Random House, Costco Wholesale, Whole Foods, Hilton, Apple, Starbucks, IBM, Bank of America. So I just want to convey this idea that degrees were conceived 200 years back. And in today's context, when we are thinking of pursuing a degree, we have to, there is a concept which is one of our secrets, that based on which we have to decide whether that degree is worthwhile or what exactly is required so that we have a secure future. So in that context, I have shared this, that on today's date, the culture of degrees is changing and it's going to change. And one of the reason for this is another of the statistics. This is from India Today survey that 93% MBA graduates are unemployable. Problems with management education in India. So everything was portrayed in terms of degree. These are the statistics with regards to MBA. We have something similar kind of statistics with regards to engineering also. And the reason for this is, as soon as the trend starts that the software engineers or engineers are required, as soon as the trend starts, there starts to open more and more colleges, and the quality of education is not there. And that is why even after going through 4 years of a struggle, many times it is like we are not employable. And this is not something my personal opinion. This is India Today, a national magazine. They have done proper survey और उसके बाद ये जानकार वो दे रहे हैं. और ये सिर्फ इंजीनियरिंग और एमबीए दोनों के बारे में बता रहे हैं. अभी इस स्लाइड में आप देख रहे होंगे एमबीए के बारे में, और शायद आप भी किसी को जानते होंगे जिन्होंने एमबीए किया है और वो स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं लाइफ में. Not everyone is struggling. I am not saying this statistics is like God's word, but definitely this statistics points to a particular problem with regards to degree which is happening in India. And this thing was already अंडर डिस्कशन. इस बारे में काफी डिस्कशन और चर्चाएं होती थी डिग्री को लेकर, बट क्योंकि सोशल कल्चर फैब्रिक एक ऐसा बना हुआ था कि डिग्री नाम के साथ होना एक हमें ऊंचा देखा जाता था, ऊंचे दर्जे में, जो कि धीरे धीरे जब लोगों को डिग्री होने के बाद भी जॉब्स वगैरह नहीं मिली, then it became a kind of news. It used to be in the media that such and such person has done this degree and that particular degree, and that person is not able to get a job, and all those facts and figures. So what now, does that mean that I'm trying to communicate that we do not need to have a degree? No, I'm not against degree. My principle is, this is from Fast Company and it is from 2018. Just imagine in 2020, after coronavirus, this particular concept is like, it cannot be removed. Why practical skills will matter more than your degree in the new economy. So this is valid for the coming phase of our post-corona, which is, we don't know. We don't know. Nowadays, like 20 to 25,000 cases are coming, and there is more mortality rate as compared to previously. So what exactly are we supposed to understand from these facts and figures that I am not against degree, but we have to know whether the purpose for which we are pursuing degree or we had pursued degree, was we clear? That is what I'm trying to come to that particular concept, that whenever we are trying to pursue any kind of higher education, there is a particular concept which we have to have clarity before we start going into the degree. And if we have the clarity with regards to that concept, even if we do not have a degree, but we can demonstrate a skill, with regards to particular field, then we are definitely employable throughout the life. I ask a question to all of you. You all have gone to the doctor, including myself. Many of us have gone to the doctors. How many times have you thought of asking the doctor or checking the doctor's degree, that whether the doctor has come from AIMS or whether the doctor is has passed out some government exam? So share in the chat box, how many of you have done that? I'm not discrediting the doctors from AIMS and other government colleges. Please do not misunderstand me. But I am just putting this question across, that how many of you have experienced that you have asked a doctor, please show me your degree, and whether you are from AIMS or whether you are from government college, then only I'll take treatment from you. So definitely you might have thought whether the doctor is good or not, and that is based on, can the doctor demonstrate the skill for which we are going to the doctor? If we are going to a cancer surgeon, more important than asking the degree is, mostly we come through reference that that doctor's hands are good, his surgery are good. Many people have gone through his surgery and are good, and definitely they became surgeon through the degree. Yes, it is true in terms of those doctors, but this is not the question which we ask. And that is why in our culture, we have to change this mindset of asking the question about what kind of degree we are doing. Rather, we have to ask this question, that what kind of skill I can demonstrate to solve a particular problem. This is what the whole context of our discussion previous to this particular point was all about, that we wanted to come to the point where we can demonstrate a skill by which we can solve a particular problem in the society. And that is what is our career all about. So throughout your future, if there is at least one skill which you can demonstrate by which you can solve a particular problem in the society in a proper way, then nobody can ever say you that you won't have a successful career. So these are the two principles which were the core of today's discussion, and these two principles are a core skill and a lifelong learning attitude. And why just these two principles are sufficient enough to make sure that we have a futuristic career, and after the session is over of 60 minutes, you can have life of next 60 years just based on these two skills. I mean, these two principles. And just give me a few more minutes to explain me what exactly I mean by core skill. So yes, write in a comment box, what exactly are you thinking about these two skills? What are these two skills? So the first one is what I call as a core skill. And these are the four concepts or four factors I have associated with these four skills. And we will discuss right now that how, based on this, we can come to a conclusion that if I have a core skill, I am irreplaceable in the society at any point of time. So the first principle is, whatever we are deciding to pursue our career in, that particular thing should be aligned with our personality. And unfortunately, this particular question was supposed to be asked few years before and not at this point of time, because I'm assuming that most of you are out of your schools and colleges, are in some kind of working field or mostly in some phase of college. And this particular question, that whether the field which I am choosing, am I aligned, my personality is aligned with it or not? Because it is very important to have this alignment. Otherwise, in due course of time, what comes in the society, you might have heard about quarter life crisis, you might have heard about midlife crisis, you might have heard about people becoming frustrated with their jobs, and probably, unfortunately, you may be somebody who is struggling with your job to find out what exactly I am meant to do in the world. So you see, just like we have our human body, similarly we have universal body. this universe which we consider, if we consider these both bodies as an example for each other, we have eyes, we have heart, we have lungs, and we have different cells for all these organs. Yes, so a brain cell has to perform its own function so that brain keeps working. Lung cell has to perform its own function so that lungs keep working. And similarly, all of us, when we are born with certain gifts, which in due course of time, because of the trends, nobody is more or less able to recognize, including ourselves. And it is actually, we need help of our superiors, our parents, our friend, our relatives who are superior, our teachers, and some people in the society who have more experience than us, so that they can help us in figuring out that what particular role are we aligned with in our personality to fulfill in the society. For example, right now I'm conducting a session, and you can call it a kind of digital coaching or digital teaching. And I totally feel that I'm aligned with this particular aspect of occupation, you can call, because I've been teaching since last 10 to 15 years. And but I discovered, I also did engineering, and it was at a particular point after completing engineering and while working, I left my job in 6 months. At that point, I realized that my personality is naturally aligned with teaching. And then subsequently, I have been following what I recognized, although it was already there. So similarly, all of us, every individual, nobody is useless and nobody is meant to be unsuccessful. But the education system we have is like, we go through a particular sects kind of like engineering exam, IIT and all that. And if we are not successful in those things, we go from CAT or IIT. If we are not successful, the impression which we form of ourselves and the society forms is that we do not have a particular caliber. But it is not true. Someone of you may be a very creative person who can be extremely good in graphic designing, and you can spend your whole day doing designing for different kind of like 3D objects or 3D boxes or any kind of designing work, maybe even a UX or UI designer. So who was there? Was there somebody who was helping us to recognize the creativity of ours? So I think most of us do not receive that particular kind of facility, and it happens after our graduation or post-graduation or in some phase of life, maybe after 20s, 25s and 30s, that we come to the conclusion that कुछ तो missing है, कुछ मतलब ये काम के साथ कुछ connection महसूस नहीं हो रहा है. But we continue to do that work because we have educated, and that work is supplying us the finances, which are also equally important. I'm coming to that point. So the first concept of the core skill is that our personality has to be aligned. And to figure out, tomorrow in tomorrow's session, I'll be sharing with 6 particular ancient wisdoms, based on which we can identify that what our personality, what are our priorities with regards to our personality. And based on that, we have to choose the opportunity. We have to choose our career. Now, the second concept is societal needs. And whatever we are doing, we are fulfilling some kind of need in the society. For example, right now, what I am doing is I am trying to help people as a future career strategist to get aligned with their personality, understanding an opportunity through which they can earn and how they can become expert in that particular field. So I am fulfilling a role in a society. So every individual in a society, a person who is constructing a house, he is also playing some role. A mother who is cooking at home, she is also playing some role. So all the careers which are existing in the world are actually to fulfill the need of society. And so it is very simple. There is a small philosophical point which I would like to share here. It's just not going into any deep philosophy, but society, we human beings, we are living beings, and we as a spirit have consciousness, and the symptom of consciousness is desire. And there are primarily 2 kinds of desires which we have. So what exactly are those 2 kinds of desire? Just bear with me, because at this point of time, I just want to communicate the principles. And once the principles are communicated, we will have some interaction also. This is not going to be just one way of communication session, but I want to communicate the principle before we have our interaction. So there are 2 kinds of desire. One is for pleasure and another is of pain. And if you go in the real world, you can observe any person is doing any kind of work. It is with regards to these two things. Either we are wanting to experience pleasure or we are wanting to go away from pain. Like whole medical field, any kind of doctor, Ayurvedic doctor, MBBS, Unani, or homeopathy, Ayurveda, all of these doctors are helping individuals because we go to them when we have some kind of pain. So we want to go away from the pain. And then there is pleasure component. For example, the Facebook came into effect. What is the purpose? Because people, once they used to pass out their school and colleges, there was lack of connection. Then at that point of time, Orkut and some small applications had come, and in due course of time, Facebook came. So Facebook is solved that particular kind of problem. On today's date, Facebook has become much more than that, but that was the original concept based on which Facebook has come into existence. So it was helping people to, because through relationship is what we experience pleasure. If you have everything in this world and nobody is there in this world, if we can just close our eyes and just assume that everything you want in this world is yours, but there is no person. So that experience will be very odd because we experience pleasure through relationship. Similarly, you can see Uber. What is Uber solving? Uber was solving a pain problem that people were, many people who were not having their own vehicles, for them, Uber provided a facility to go have a premium experience, different from autos. And many people who do not want to keep car, even though they can. So for them also, there was a facility. So everything you can observe based on these two principles. So the society needs are based on these two principles. And here comes the important point. Please listen carefully. Here comes the important point. When the origin of degrees, if you will go a little bit into research, you will find out that the concept of degrees came in 1800. That is 220 years back from this particular point of time. And at that point of time, we are still continuing with the core structure based on that, which is not wrong. The system was robust, but we needed to adapt it according to time, place, circumstance at this point of time in 2020. And that is what our education system is slow in, right? So any kind of societal need. So when we are trying to figure out a core skill, which we want to carry out throughout our life, whether it is aligned with our personality, we have to figure this out. Second is we have to find out if we are fulfilling any particular need in the society. So we may be interested in doing any kind of thing, but if it is not fulfilling a particular need in a society, then we will have to rethink if we can pursue it as a career, as our profession. Third thing is it has to be financially rewarding. So this is the thing based on which our decision has been happening in society in general since long period of time, that this thing has money. Like so many people became software engineer because at that point of time, software engineering, when it started to boom, especially in the 2000, after 2000, everybody was becoming an engineer. And if you have observed, most of the engineers from different core branch, as I am from engineering field, I am just giving an example of as an engineer. You can think about example from any other context. So what happened in engineering is, even if you are a chemical engineer, you are a mechanical engineer or whatever kind of engineer, everyone was pushed to software. Why? Because software was reaping money at that point of time. But everybody is not meant for software. Many people, you may not be like having the nature or interest of just getting into machines. Somebody may be a people oriented person who may need, like I am, if you consider, I am also using technology, but I am a people oriented person. I cannot continuously remain connected with technology alone. So of course, there is people interaction in software also, but during programming also. But the primary thing is your machine interaction is the maximum time. So this has to be identified, whether this person is a people oriented or machine oriented. And it's totally okay to be any of these, but we have to figure out, and both have potential to earn money, but this exercise is not done. And so most of us happen to make the decision of our career based on this point, financial rewarding. This is just one of the point, and the other 2 points which we discussed before are equally extremely critical. We cannot just forego ki we don't care about the personality, we don't know what is happening in the society, we don't care about ethics. Somehow if we can make money, we can do by any means we can make money, then let us make money. Then it happens what we call as a quarter life crisis. People coming into the age of 25, 30, and then they are midlife crisis. They are getting confused. getting frustrated, because when our personality is not aligned with our career, many times the challenges which we are coming in our organizational level at work, if any of you are working at maybe doing internship or have been in some kind of collaboration, many times it happens that we feel that challenges are much more than as compared to what exactly the challenges are, because our personality is not inclined, our nature is not inclined with that work. So all these details I'll cover in much more detail tomorrow about personality alignment. I'll be covering much more in detail. I'll be sharing 6 ancient wisdom to analyze our personality and what are our priorities and what we give importance. So you will be able to understand, you individually will be able to understand, oh, these are my 2 priorities. So when I am choosing something which is future oriented, I have to keep these priorities, because you as a person are going to remain as a person. So the nature cannot be changed, and every individual has unique nature and unique personality. And next is we have to become proficient. We have to become proficient, and becoming proficient is actually byproduct of fulfilling all these things. If our personality is aligned, if we are fulfilling some important need in a society, and if we are having a financially rewarding career, then becoming proficient is a byproduct. So becoming proficient means we have to become good in what we are doing. That is the meaning of becoming proficient. So when these all 4 factors, when we consider all these 4 factors and come up with a core skill, that is the first principle of choosing our career. And this is applicable at any point of time. Even if you are educated differently with something which is not aligned with your personality, then in due course of time, you will have to find out something with which your personality is aligned, and it is bound to happen. And if, like, once we have identified this core skill of ours, then comes the second principle. And the second principle is more of a mindset, or we can call it attitude. And that these 2 principles are sufficient. These 2 principles are sufficient. It is lifelong learning attitude. So these 2 principles are completely sufficient in itself. After the 60 minutes of session, for next 60 years of your life, if you can identify a core skill in terms of skill based on those 4 factors, and if you can make this attitude, you can have this attitude of lifelong learning. Like right now, today I am conducting my first session. I'll just express about that. I am conducting my first session, and at somewhere at 7 o'clock, I consulted one of my friend who is also here in this session, and I didn't check about the Zoom, how it functions. I have been conducting sessions on Zoom, but conducting a session of where more than 20-25 students are going to come, I'm conducting it for the first time. So it was like this last 1 hour, I have been discussing with my friend, learning about how things has to be handled, how I can facilitate interactions also, and how it should not be just one-way communication, but at the same time, I also get time first to communicate, when to unmute, when to mute. So I'm learning all these things. So this attitude has to be there. Even after doing hundreds or thousands of such webinars, I have to continuously upgrade in my learning. And in this context, for me, the most important for me is to give a very good experience. It is no more about information. This is another concept. It just came in my mind. It's no more about information. You can do any kind of calculation which they are teaching in school through internet, through different applications. You can search any kind of data through YouTube. Everything is there. So it's not about information. The future of learning is about how you are going to give experience to your students. That is going to be the key. So playing music before the session started, this is another creative idea. So when your personality is aligned with something what you are doing, and then you naturally learn to grow in that particular field and to give beautiful experience to my participants. So tomorrow you will find a different approach from me, and day after tomorrow, a better version of me. So this lifelong learning attitude has to be there, whatever phase of life you are in and whatever career you are going to choose. So at this point of time, if your education is something which is different from what your personality is, there is no problem. Do not leave your job or whatever work you are into, but start considering the concept of finding out a core skill and continue with your education. And maybe in future you can make a transition if required. And if not, then both things can be continued together. So in lifelong learning attitude, I want to share a very key principle from one of the futurists who has been learning about the future since last 30 years. And after going through her book, her lectures, I've been following her since last 6 months, not exactly 6 months, from 4 months. And I've just brought down everything into a very small 3-slide presentation to communicate the idea, what she wanted to communicate in terms of future. And this is what she wanted to communicate. Ruben, I'm really sorry. Actually, on my screen, I am not able to see your question. Just now, I also have a mobile on the side of me. So I just saw that you sent a message. And please, it's about to continue. It's about to get complete. And once I'll stop sharing the screen, probably I'll be able to see the messages. At this point of time, I'm not able. So just let me complete, and I'll definitely discuss all the questions. And even if I couldn't discuss all the questions, you all are part of the group. So you can definitely ask those questions individually to me on my mobile also personally. So I'll just complete this. So in the 18th century, her name is Heather McGowan, and she has beautifully described here, if you see on the screen, end of the 18th century was the steam engine, the mechanical manufacturing, then came the electricity mass. So it's visible on the screen. Right now, the industrial revolution, we all are hearing a lot about it. In case if you're not, then this particular session will make much more sense to you. So learning adaptability and learning agility is the most important key being considered for the Industrial Revolution 4, which is connected with our second principle of lifelong learning attitude. And the reason for this, I'll also show you. This is the reason for this. This is a very beautiful slide. And from this, it communicates so much, just this small slide, that in 1917, the value was extracted from natural assets. In 1967, 50 years after that, the value was extracted from human-made assets. IBM and all these companies, the production was scalable, as they have mentioned. In 2017, scalable learning to create digital assets. And what exactly is this scalable learning is, if you have identified about Amazon, Amazon just started as selling book. As a company, it started selling book. But what Amazon does beautifully is, based on whatever customers are, today Amazon is in everything. It is selling books, and it is in e-commerce, and it is in music and whatnot, in movies and OTT platform, everything Amazon is doing. And that's why it is still existing. And as long as this principle is being followed, there is maximum chance of it continuing throughout. And the principle Amazon followed is, they observed their consumers' behavior continuously. And based on that, they kept on upgrading themselves. And this is what scalable learning to create digital assets is about. And the principle here is stock versus flow. Yes, stock was the time period when there was sufficient time we had that आपके पास पूरा डेटा, पूरी एजुकेशन रिकॉर्डेड है, आप 4 साल तक वो स्टॉक एजुकेशन किसी को डिग्री में देते हैं, और उसके बाद वो जाकर उसको इंडस्ट्री में अप्लाई करता है, और फिर वो अपना काम करते करते हुए रिटायर होता है. This is how the end of century 18, 20 and 40, 50 years before, in fact 20 years before, till our parents' age, this was the scenario. After coming of internet, things are changing so fast that everything is shifted to flow. So if you can remember just these two words, stock versus flow, the lifelong learning attitude will be totally clear throughout. That now the decisions are made based on the data, and data is continuously in flow. And as data keeps on coming, different decisions are made. So as we are talking in context of Amazon, continuously by observing the behavior of the consumers, they kept on upgrading themselves. And this is known as scalable learning. And if you will observe today, the way artificial intelligence is coming, just a couple of days back, I had shared a video about future of work in the group. If you have recently joined, then you message me individually, I'll share that. And with the coming of artificial intelligence, many of the financial technology related fintech softwares are getting developed. So many of the manual work or repetitive work which is happening in financial organizations will be automated. Many things is getting automated in different kinds of fields, and automation has been happening since 200 years. The crop used to be cut by the farmers, which started with machine. What is the difference at this point of time? Because we are still calling it as an industrial revolution. The difference is its exponential speed. Like previously 10 to 20 years back, there used to be one car from a company in 1 year. Now within 1 year, a company comes with 3 to 4 different cars of the same variety. If it is like Hyundai Creta, they will come up with some different versions. And that means they're continuously adapting, understanding the market, and to keep in competition with other brands, you have to continuously innovate, offer different products, different services. So if people won't have this learning agility, in software, the term agile is used, which is like adapting according to whatever the situation comes. So if that adaptability and learning agility won't be maintained, then most of the jobs, I also shared about Thomas Frey's futurist, his 2 billion jobs prediction 8 years back before today in 2012. So in coming years, with these two attitudes, that lifelong learning attitude and identifying a core skill, these two principles are completely sufficient in itself to keep us relevant throughout our life. So this was the whole context. And what comes about learning is, this is what I am trying to communicate, that we need to change. That we have to learn from the people who are doing things in the real world. This is what the e-learning revolution is bringing the change. You can now learn from the people who are actually doing things in the real world field, and not from people who are just teaching by studying. No. If we want to remain relevant throughout our life in whatever is our core skill we have identified, you have to learn from the people who are doing things. Because the people who are doing things and who themselves have learning attitude, the attitude of continuous adaptability, through them we will keep on receiving the information of how to make transition. So these are the two important concepts which I wanted to discuss, and I'll just now stop sharing my screen, and I'll see if you have any questions. You can share those questions. Yes, so we have 27 participants today. I'll just check in the check box. Please check from your end as I can hear him. Okay. Ruben, if we have identified a personality aligned career or concept, how can we effectively find co-founders? Please share some insights. So effectively find, Ruben, can you just clarify what do you mean by co-founders? Are you asking about from whom you can learn? Or you are asking about how to identify people who also have similar kind of personality and looking for making career in similar concept? Can you just clarify? And Kanishk, if you could please explain learning from doing people. Oh, okay. Let me share my screen and show you something, Kanishka. You will become very clear. If you remember, I just shared a slide about the employability in India about with engineering and MBA and how they are very less employable. And the reason for that is the industry connect was missing. The people in the industry who are doing things are not the people who are teaching to the people who are in the colleges. Like I was at one point of time teaching in a college, and I was teaching programming, like C programming subject and discrete mathematics subject, but I am not doing programming myself. So it was not possible for me to remain updated. There are multiple things which happens in the colleges, and I was not continuously upgrading in my knowledge to make those students relevant to the industry. So I'll just show, yeah, Snehal, just give me some time. I'll answer your question. Let me just show a particular thing which will give you a lot of clarity. Let me share my screen. All right, I hope my screen is visible. And yes. Is my screen visible? So many questions are coming. Friends, just give me time. I'll share all the questions. Is my screen visible? All right. So what you can see, chat box is opened in front of me. Learn from the founders of Tesla, Shazam in the first real alternative to MBA. This particular MBA course has more than 25,000 students. Kanishk, if you are, Kanish, can you listen? Yeah, visible, right. Who are the teachers? Who are the teachers who are teaching this particular thing in the, see, the co-founder of Sugarfina, of co-founder of Tesla, president and CEO, this is some Spanish name. These are the people from the Spanish world who have created this course. And CMO, Girls Who Code. So this is what I mean from learning from the people who are doing things. The whole course is designed by these people. These are the people who are teaching all these things. So, you know, it's very simple. If you are continuously, see, किसी भी तरफ दुनिया जाएगी, कोई ना कोई टॉप पर लोग होंगे जो दुनिया की डायरेक्शन को देख पा रहे हैं. This is going to be true. Unless if nobody is able to visualize where the world is going, then nothing can be done. But there will always be people who will be able to visualize that in what direction the world is moving. So when those people, based on their knowledge and based on the adaptability of their own, when they are available to teach to other people, I mean the students, then it is natural for us to be adaptable. But it appears like a foreign concept at this point of time, because the primary reason for it is because हम उस thought process के साथ बड़े ही नहीं हुए हैं कि उन लोगों से सीखें जो फील्ड में कर रहे हैं चीजें. India is still much more of a learning culture rather than doing culture. About कितनी डिग्री आपके पास, PhDs हैं कि नहीं, और ये क्या है, वो क्या है, कितना बल कर लिया, बस उसकी क्या यूटिलिटी है, कहाँ आप यूज कर पा रहे हैं. So this is what e-learning is doing, and this is what we need to change. So यदि आप इस पूरे डिस्कशन से सिर्फ इस कॉन्सेप्ट को ही समझ जाएं, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं, आई डील, बट आप इस कॉन्सेप्ट को ही समझ जाएं कि अब रेलेवेंट रहना है फ्यूचर में, तो उनसे सीखना होगा जो फील्ड में काम कर रहे हैं डायरेक्ट, जो कि आज की डेट में पॉसिबल है 110%, नॉट जस्ट 100%. एंड विथ नो अवेयरनेस अबाउट कोविड का कब टोटल रिजॉल्व होगा, e-learning is going to be there, online learning going is, even if COVID gets resolved, a large component of the learning will remain online. And the benefit of that is the people who are in the industry can teach online. तो उसमें दो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगी, एक तो इंडस्ट्री का पर्सन होना, एंड फ्यू डेज बैक आई हैड शेयर्ड अबाउट 5 traits which we have to see in a person who is a trainer. तो वो किस तरह का एक्सपीरियंस दे पा रहे हैं हमको, not just about information but the complete experience. So this is, I wanted to communicate that learning from doing people and not just learning from the people who are just learning and teaching. All right, Kanishk, I thank you very much. Yeah, I hope I have answered. And let's go back. By co-founders, I mean who have like-minded passion for the field that we are interested in. Okay. There is a component of mindset involved in this. If see, it is said our personality brings our personal reality. So if you are clear with regards to what your personality is, the point of time when you have become clear about it, you will start, like your persona will start radiating such frequency that you will start coming across people who are also having similar kind of interest. It will happen. You have to keep patience. If you have just gone into that zone, you have started discovering your personality and then you are identifying, you are waiting. This is one thing. Second thing is you can connect with Not visible. Okay, I'm sorry. I spoke a whole story. So the Kanishk is asking that if you are now in the teaching field, and if I want to get trained in teaching, it would be best to learn from you, right? So it is right. It would be best to learn from a teacher who is teaching about, and I'm not totally disregarding formal education. Please do not get me wrong. There are relevant degrees and there are many institutions who are adapting to relevant degrees. So I'm not disregarding formal education, but when you are connected to a mentor who is doing that particular thing in the real world, that person is the best person to communicate to you that what kind of degree will be relevant for you to get educated, rather than doing a degree based on trends, doing MBA, doing engineering, and after 4 years realizing that my passion is something different, or this degree was not that useful. After doing MBA, people are looking for jobs, not like that. So there are two benefits of connecting to a person who is doing that particular thing. Is one is under that person's mentorship, you will get direct real knowledge relevant, and that person is continuously growing, so you will also keep on growing. And any kind of formal education in terms of degree or certificate, if it is required, that person is in the best position to communicate that to you, because he is knowing what is happening in the industry at that point of time. So he may not be the one who will sit down with you and will teach you everything, but he can connect with you the relevant courses, right? Can you explain how can one find its core field? Anonymous. Okay. Yes, tomorrow's session will be about core field only. We will be discussing that what are the six principles from ancient wisdom, based on which we can identify that what is important to us. To identify core field, we have to identify what is important to us. For example, in my case, what I have identified since childhood is what is important for me is the passion about helping others, the passion about seeing people grow. When I'm teaching, I'm trying to help people that the concept gets clear and they are able to apply the concept. So it's the nature of helping, and I'm utilizing in a direction of career guidance and counseling. So this is how the core field is identified. So I'll explain you tomorrow that how to identify what are important to you, and based on that you can come to the conclusion of your core field. Okay, I'm back. Please unmute yourself. Vipul, unable to hear you, no audio. If you could unmute, no audio. How to find the personality aligned career and how to manage it once you are set in your existing career. Right. First thing is personality alignment career. You will be like tomorrow, I'll be sharing that concept, how to identify the personality, what is important for us. And with regards to how to manage, it is pretty simple. Just learn, have mentors and learn. It's very simple how to manage. Can you elaborate, Sneha, a little bit more how to manage if there is some specific query you want to ask? Like, I'll just share the example. Maybe this will make things clear to you. Like personality aligned career for me is like based on my nature, it is what role I have taken is of guiding individuals, teaching. Okay, you can say teaching. Now, how to manage teaching once you're set in your existing career? You just continuously become better in your teaching, better in giving results to your students, better in giving them experience, because then how more and more students will keep on coming and associating with you. If I am able to help students become clear about the concept, what they want to become clear, like in career guidance, if I can help them to connect with their personality, connect with an opportunity, connect with mentor, then students will obviously have a lot of good feelings for me, and I'll always have the opportunity open for me to continuously grow. So to manage, if this is what I have understood rightly about managing, this question gives me an indication that maybe at this point of time you are not aligned with your career, because it is no more about management once you are aligned with your career. It is like just naturally you flow. So you just find out the people in order to give results to my students, how better I can teach. You find a mentor who can help me with that, how to interact, and all the things which can increase the experience, which can make the experience of teaching to students much better. So from wherever I'll receive that learning, that's how I'll be managing my career. How to find the personality aligned career and how to manage it once you're set in your existing career. Is there any technique? Yes, there is. Yes, there are many techniques. So this will require a little bit more of a discussion. It's not just like I cannot immediately answer. One thing I shared. Okay, Nandan is asking, what is this future career discovery is all about? In principle, the future career discovery is all about that before coronavirus, uh, जो स्लो डाउन है वो आ ही रहा था already. It was coming, and with coronavirus, lot of disruption has happened, right? So the careers of the future, many of the people right now, the education system is not in sync with what kind of careers are going to come in the future. So future career discovery is about closing this gap and understanding this concept that if I can have understanding of my personality and what kind of opportunities that are going to come in the future. I'll explain one more example. Like, let us consider health. I'll explain another opportunity. I think I'll be better communicate with opportunity. Suppose you are somebody who is, you feel a great passion about changing the environment and the ecology, and you feel a lot of pain that so many things are going, like pollution is increasing, wastage are increasing, you know. So if this is what is your core, you want to develop your core skill in this field. So now there are so many opportunities. Like today only in the newspaper I read that somewhere in Assam it started many years back, 1 lakh kilometer of road has been built based on using plastic waste. If you will go and you type on Google startups in waste management, if you'll go and type in Google startups in waste management, you will find a company known as Sahas Zero Waste. So the owner of this company, since last 20 years, she has been working, and now they have made it a profitable business model. And what they are doing is they are utilizing all the waste from the city from different sources, categorizing them, and they have made a structure to utilize that. I mean, so that ecologically everything is proper. The pollution is not spread and it doesn't go to the rivers and ocean. So this is what I meant by these kind of careers are coming in the future, which you can align with your personality, and then it is profitable. If I'm sharing about this company is already in profit. It has already gone through all these phases and is already in profit. This is just one example. Second example is about so many people are suffering today. If you have a passion or your personality is about helping people, just like I have, you also have that nature that you are just passionate about helping people. Then another field can be about helping people with chronic illness. You know, modern medicine, few days back I had made a post on Facebook also. In MBBS AIMS syllabus, there is not even a single chapter, or I think there is just one chapter about nutrition. And there are so many diseases on today's date which are chronic, like arthritis and irritable bowel syndrome, colitis, and many more, lupus, Lyme disease. There are so many diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, related to heart, diabetes. All these are already declared that you have to live with the medicine. That is because modern medicine has made a lot of advances, but they have not understood the nutrition part of it. And all these diseases are reversible. Yes, diabetes is also reversible. And I can, like, there's little more in depth. I'll have to go and explain you how you can reverse arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. My personal story of irritable bowel syndrome, of having pain for more than 7 years, and the pain reducing. So this is a dimension. If your personality is about health and you identify with chronic illness, then removing chronic illness through functional nutrition and yoga and meditation integration, this is another future career discovery. So all these things are, this is, I'm just giving 2 examples. There are many more examples. So इतनी opportunities available है, ये school level पे पता नहीं चलता है. There is a career counseling company known as Mindler, and they did survey last year. And from 46,000 students, survey of school students, they came to know that 96 or 93, I think 93 or 96% of the students were aware of only 7 careers. So if you are in, like Nandan, I know you are in related to chartered accountancy. So just a couple of days back, we had a discussion that what kind of opportunities are available for you and how you have to adapt to what can come in the future. So this is what I am trying to communicate, that हमको जितने options पता हैं और हम जिस fields में हैं, इस fields के अलावा भी real world में बहुत बड़ी दुनिया है जहाँ पर बहुत सारी opportunities हैं जो शायद आपको नहीं पता होगी. And that is what is future career discovery is all about, and that is what is my role as a future career strategist is. This is what I help people in my coaching system. I am actually interested in this, Kanishka. I lost the link what you are interested in, but we can discuss. We are connected. Okay, generalized skill is beneficial or specialized skill? Okay, the concept is simple. You have to know you have to have a specialization about something, few things, and generalization about everything. So knowledge about this principle is about knowledge, having some knowledge about everything, and deep knowledge about certain things. So both are important. It's not that we have to just become specialized. So for suppose, if you are a specialized skill, if you consider one specialized skill, let us say you are a surgeon, then apart from being a specialist as a surgeon and having that proficiency in doing the surgery, we also need a lot of skills like communication skill, other soft skills. You have to discuss with patient, you have to keep them calm. Then uh, administrative work we have to do, record data we have to record. So all these skills are not your specialized core skill. These are general skills. Like for me, my coaching is my specialized skill. But what are the general skills? Setting up the system, and I've been following up with everybody in the WhatsApp and messaging all of you time to time, upgrading. So these are general skills which I have learned so that my core message can be passed. So similarly, specialized skill is key and it is compulsory, but we need general skills also. I hope I have answered your question. Okay, Kanishk, I'll give you the direction about this ecology and this. All right. I hope. Snehal, you can just message me personally. This requires little bit of more discussion. Yes, there is a technique, but it requires little bit of more discussion. So I missed a couple of questions because of this Zoom stopped working. All right, I think there are no more questions. Find the personality line, how to manage it once you are set. This is the one. How we can develop trust on core skills leading to financial freedom, because lifelong learning attitude is realistic feel for a person like me if it is rewarding. Of course, if it is not financially rewarding, why will you be learning it lifelong as a core skill to make your career? When we talk about career, it has to be about finances has to be there. How to avoid instant gratification aspiration. Okay. Instant gratification aspiration. I have an answer for you, but I'll express that answer personally. But this is nothing. It's all about some training regards to mind. Because once you focus on a core skill, right, and you start earning from it, सबसे पहले तो जब आप आइडेंटिफाई कर लेंगे कोर स्किल के बारे में, तो आपकी पर्सनालिटी अलाइंड है, तभी वो आपकी कोर स्किल है. तो नेक्स्ट इज, जब आपने कोई नीड देख ली सोसाइटी की, आपने अपनी पर्सनालिटी अलाइंड कोर स्किल चूज कर ली और वो फाइनेंसेस जनरेट कर रही है, तो ट्रस्ट डेवलप करने में क्या प्रॉब्लम? What exactly is the problem in developing trust? Gaurav, can you explain this? Like if you consider, I'll just again take my example, how we can develop trust on my core skill leading to financial freedom, because lifelong learning attitudes is realistic feel for a person like me if it is rewarding. I think you have understood. Either the particular core skill which you are considering your core skill is not rewarding at this point of time, maybe. So that is why you have doubt. So if you have done the exercise about identifying, like in my coaching system, I give around 10 pointers. How person comes to the conclusion of the core skill. There are many pointers. So more than 10 pointers at this point of time, and it's continuously upgrading. So based on that, when you come to a conclusion of core skill, definitely it ends up in helping us earning money and the trust comes automatically. And another thing I'll explain. We have to first understand what is our estimation about what kind of money we want to make. You know, if our personality is aligned with a core skill, the money factor can be different. Money factor can be different. If you want to earn huge sum of money, then you have to identify, you have to go, maybe your core skill, or which is based on your nature, may not be that particular skill. Like for example, if I am doing coaching, there is a certain amount of money which I'll be able to earn, and I know how much I'll be able to earn, and I am satisfied with that. I cannot earn like Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan, because they are having a particular skill of entertainment which is in popular demand in the society. But I don't have problem with that. I don't have problem with them. I mean, not that, but I don't have problem with them, because they are fulfilling a particular society need of entertainment. People want entertainment. I can collaborate entertainment with my learnings, but this is what is My core. So there will be a particular amount of money. So if you're talking in terms of money, then this is the answer. We loses demotivation once financial reward comes soon. Financial reward does not come soon. Even if financial reward doesn't come soon, still you won't be able to avoid based on your core skill, because it is your nature. So anyways, you will have to be use your nature. आप अपने nature को नहीं छोड़ सकते. So how you pace with your financial expectation and keeping core skill aligned? Yeah, simple proficiency. आपने जब सब कुछ आइडेंटिफाई कर लिया तो आप कितने प्रोफिशिएंट हैं, कौन सी नीड को पूरा कर रहे हैं. जैसे मैं एज अ कोच, इफ आई एम प्रोफिशिएंट इनफ टू एक्चुअली हेल्प अ पर्सन, वो अपनी पर्सनालिटी डिस्कवर करके मेंटर तक मैं भेज सकूं उसको, तो मेरे फाइनेंसेस की क्लैरिटी मुझे आ जाएगी. तो माय फाइनेंसेस कैन बी clearly just based on the proficiency. As I keep on becoming better and better and better, I'll start having better finances. Financial, maybe you are not giving anything in charity. Demotivation can be a reason of charity. This is a very important component. Excuse me. This is a very important component that we have to give charity. This is one of the role of spiritualizing our career, that a portion of the income which we are getting from our career has to be utilized in some kind of charity in the world based on whatever you have belief on. There is no hard and fast rule. But because demotivation is more based on the internal feelings and emotion based, and in that case just earning money cannot remove that feeling. So once you start giving some kind of charity, maybe that आपके जो नॉट्स हैं अंदर, जिससे मोटिवेशन पैसे जल्दी आने के कारण या देर से आने के कारण, जिस भी कारण से आप डिमोटिवेट हो रहे हैं, तो you will start experiencing a different kind of happiness. Thank you, Shantanu sir. By the way, Shantanu sir is my professor from PICT college when I was in second year. I think third year. He used to teach me. I'm not remembering the subject. Some modeling, software modeling or something. 18 participants are still there, and more than 31 participants were there in the session. And when I had initially conceived of conducting the session, I just had idea of total 20 people coming in group, and I thought maybe 4 to 5 people will be coming for the session. So I heartily thank all of you to attend this session, and you have my mobile number also if you want to personally connect. How to know about our skills and ability? Can we learn about our skills and ability in one day, or it takes some days? Of course, it takes some days. It may take some more time. How to know about our skills and ability? Can we learn? Of course, it is going to take. Like in my case, I never knew that I want to be a teacher, or like this is what I love and this is what I'm good at. ये मेरी personality के साथ aligned. And I came to know after doing my engineering and doing job for 6 months, and somebody told me that you are good in explaining to people and you have so much interest in explaining concepts to people. Why don't you get into teaching? That is how I discovered. So you may have such a moment, or you can go through the whole journey, like the way I have in my coaching system. I take individual through whole journey where within in 10 to 12 days, they can clearly become aware about how to identify what are their core skills. So somebody, I'm not knowing your name, so that's okay. But I hope I've answered your question. And yes, Gauravji, we can definitely connect in personal chat. So friends, as promised, it has been 1 hour. And if you have any specific question, I am definitely ready to answer. If you are like, if you want to like leave, please feel free to leave. This session was supposed to be of 1 hour. And anybody has any question, I'll just wait for a couple more minutes. Thank you, Kanishka. Kanishka is in class 12. He's from Mumbai, and he is having a lot of passion about agriculture, and he himself is doing a lot of terrace gardening. So my dear friend, you're already on the right path. Just you have to work on becoming mentally strong, and that's it. You are a true example of getting into correct role. Yes, Navneet, I am convinced about this. And I have been interacting in last few days with many people, and they are earning a lot of money. Like yesterday, I was talking to one person, his name is Harshit. I was asking some queries about certain aspect which I was not aware. And after earning money from 4 to 5 sources, he was saying, I'm still trying to find out what is my core based on which I should continue my work. So at this point of time, I'm pondering, he was thinking. So yes, it is true. Thank you, Navneet. And we have to find out yours also. You are also looking for that some particular thing which is we had a discussion. All right. Thank you, Nandan. Okay, so last 1 minute, if anyone has any such, okay, you all are free to give any suggestion also in this particular session. If you feel the audio has to be kept muted because many noises may come. So that I did I did as a preference so that the experience can be good. And I'm still working on improving my speech. The जो छोटे छोटे बीच में जो gaps आते हैं उस पर I'm continuously working. So in case if you have some more suggestions, you can share here. See, it's natural to look for proficiency when you are aligned with your role. So these are also some of the Deepti here. It was very, very valuable based information. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Deepti ma'am. And you are doing great also. Yeah, yesterday you had expressed about how you gave energy to your child to stay aligned with what his decision was, and I really appreciate that. As a mother, you stood for your child. Please suggest some resources and learning documents for our further reference. Ruben, you just connect with me personally, so I'll give you the direction because the resources and documents are a lot. It's a journey basically, and it can be completed in very few days. It's not required that बहुत समय लगने वाला है. पहले तो वो माइंडसेट से ही हमको लगाना है. यदि हम सोचेंगे बहुत समय लगने वाला है तो बहुत समय ही लगेगा. But based on exercises, certain concepts, in 10 days you can identify what is your core skill. So we have few more participants. If anybody has just come in, okay, Anil sir is also there. If anybody has just come in, then I'll definitely share the recording in our group so you can go through that. All right, friends. So it's 9:05 and we'll end the session. I'll share the recording. And if you want to give some suggestion or some direction, some enhancement, or you want me to cover some particular specific concept, then you can message me privately also. Okay. So thank you very much for attending this session and giving me the opportunity to express the way by which I can contribute more in individual's life. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, the tomorrow session, same time, and we'll discuss about 6 principles of identifying what exactly is important for us considering our own personality. And it's going to be very powerful principles because I'm bringing from the ancient wisdom, and you just come with a notepad and pen to do some exercises. So we'll have to go a little bit inside of our thoughts and all to come to the conclusion what is important for us. More in Hindi, कपिल जी. ओके, कोशिश करेंगे हिंदी में और बात करने की. कॉम्बिनेशन ही रहेगा क्योंकि इंडियंस में मोस्टली हमारा नेचुरल हिंदी और इंग्लिश का कॉम्बिनेशन है, बट आई विल डेफिनेटली टेक केयर कि मैं हिंदी में भी कम्युनिकेशन ज़्यादा करूं. इंग्लिश, यस. All right, all right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow, same time, and wait for my message in WhatsApp group. And if you have any individual query, please connect with me. Thank you.